So I get a camera guy. He comes in, he starts working for me, and he goes, "Oh man, I'm working for the sub 2 guy. I'm working for." Everybody knows me as the sub 2 guy, right? And my other videographer Eric is standing there, and he goes, "Dude, you don't even know what sub 2 means." And my new videographer, his name's Jose, goes, "Yeah, okay, well show me, just show me." So I go to the whiteboard and I start writing it out. I was like, wait, hold on, what would make sense to a camera guy? So what I do is I go to Craigslist and I sit down on my desk, like literally 10 feet away, and I go, "Jose, what camera do you want more than anything?" He goes, "I want the A7S III. I want the aperture this. I want the 50 blah, blah." He's saying all the stuff he wants. Mm-hmm. So I go on Craigslist, can't find it in Arizona. I go on Craigslist in LA and I go, "Oh, cool. There's a guy selling an A7S III with these 3 lenses. He doesn't have a light with it, but it's all good." And I go, "Would you want me to buy this?" He goes, "Yes." I go, "Cool." So the package is being sold, I think, for $4,500. Okay. And I call the guy up right there. This is all recorded. We put this on the YouTube channel. And Eric's sitting here recording the whole thing. Obviously, Eric's a smart guy. I call the guy on Craigslist and I go, "Hey, I'll pay you $5,000 for your bundle." And the guy goes, "What are you talking about, $5,000? I got it listed for $4,500, you idiot." And I go, "Well, it's because I'm going to ask you for a favor." And he says, "Well, okay, what?" And I go, "It's going to be a little bit weird, but I'm a wedding photographer," which I'm not, but Jose is on the weekends. "I'm a wedding photographer. I don't have the money to buy the camera equipment. I know I can make more money if I had that camera equipment. Would you let me buy that camera equipment, put an agreement together, and make you payments every time I go make money on a wedding?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, you'll pay me $5,000? No problem." So we give him $500 down. Jose goes out, gets the camera equipment, and goes out and starts doing stuff on the weekends. Is it more work for me to do that?
That's a lot
Yes.
of trust for the seller, though, because I feel like
course.
for a camera,
But it's the same thing
the guy
with
could
buying.
just bolt off and like.
Of course. But it's the same thing with when you buy a car. The bank is trusting you, but what collateral do they have, right?
Usually they're verifying with your credit, so they have
True.
that kind of hanging over,
Yeah.
or a down payment,
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah, right. So we give him $500. It's not as easy when you go watch the conversation with the guy. It's not as easy as like, "Hey, I'll give you $5,000.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's easier to track down the car and repossess it than it would be finding some guy's camera.
Right. So, but I'm just telling you, there's nothing you can't do with creative finance. Sure. And the reason why I do the golf cart stuff, the reason why I do the truck and the Kia and the watches and stuff on creative finance is just to show people that you can literally buy anything with creative finance. And then when you really understand like the history of all these companies like DuPont and all these big companies that are the biggest, richest families in the country, they all built their fortunes off seller finance and creative finance. Every single one of them. Walmart uses creative finance in everything that they do. And so when you start understanding how simple it is, it seems complicated because the terminology is there. But name something you want. You want a house? I'll go get you a house with no credit check. I'll get you a house right now with 3.25% interest amidst everybody out there in the country is going, "I can't get a house. I can't get a house because interest rates are at 7.5. I'm like, what are you guys? This is the greatest time in history for me.
I would do that.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's go.
I guess it's such a small subsection, though.
It's not.
Because
there's 600
for any home that's listed,
600,000 houses right now that agent, Mr. Cooper is saying, take these mortgages off our plate.
I guess anything that's listed right now, I know any agent would just scoff at that. No, we're not dealing with that.
Anytime I hear that from an agent, I'm talking to all agents out there. All you're telling me as a real estate investor is that you are inexperienced and you didn't actually learn real estate.
I know if I came to that when I was at Coldwell Banker and brought any sort of deal, they would immediately say, "Nope, we're not getting involved. Too much liability for us."
It's because your broker is a listing-centric broker. If you go to a broker who is dealing with agents who are out there investing and flipping and building stuff, they'd be like 100%. I call it the bank teller paradox.
Sure.
It's like you go to a bank teller and they say, "Sorry, we have to put your check on hold for 7 days because it's bank policy." And you're like, "What are you talking about?" So you take your check and you go to your branch that they know you and they deposit it and they release the money right now. Have you ever had that happen to you? Okay, you guys, I've ran big construction companies, so it's happened to me 100 times.